Want to stop fight?
Yeah, let's go. Ready? We'll end it on that.
We're talking about the Glimmer Man today.
The Glimmer Man. Welcome everybody to the S&P episode where we talk about Sloan Gall Timber. What is it called?
What the fuck?
Schwartz Loan Gall Timber.
Schwartz Loan Gall Timber.
We cannot let him do these anymore.
Episode 3.
Just for the record, Matt coined that.
Yeah, your
terrible
eyes
phrase.
literally
Trying to make
twitching.
it happen.
Your eyes literally twitching.
And he's picked,
I can see it. Your eyes like fucking
and
showing,
he also picked every single movie we're watching for the next 2 months.
Did.
You're cut off for the rest of the fucking year. Till August, the next year you get no more
Come
picks.
up with your own shows then. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, it's Glimmer Man. It's Steven Seagal's week here in September. And
this is his week in September for Schwarzenegger.
Don't give it any more power.
Schwartz Loan Gall Timber. Okay, Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger. Stallone.
Are we doing Arnold next week?
No. What is next week?
Next week is The Expendables.
Yeah, all together.
Everybody
put them all together.
Oh, God.
It's going to be awesome.
We haven't done that.
I'm actually looking forward to that
The
one.
Expendables is probably the best show we've seen
Is
this
Seagal
month.
even in that?
Over the Top was pretty good.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I had a good time
Over the Top
editing
was
that.
so over the top.
So what are we watching this week? I don't know what we're doing.
It's the Glimmer Man, which is, by the way, the dumbest name for this freaking movie ever.
And also for a person.
It took me 45 minutes to even figure out what
But
it was about.
what's even worse is the bad guy, and it's called the Family Man.
Yeah.
Because he murders families or something like that? Yeah. It's freaking weird, dude.
Let's put him up on like a cross.
It's like, yeah. Let's have a Buddhist monk take down a Catholic murderer.
Yeah, let's do it.
He's not even a Buddhist monk, though. He's an ex-CIA assassin who just became
culturally appropriated Buddhism.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been thinking about
who
doing
has
that.
no qualms about just murdering everyone.
Yeah.
But
it's against his religion.
He's against fighting.
Violence is
I
against
can
my
respect
religion, man.
it. I can respect it.
The Buddhist?
I like the whole Buddhist thing.
Yeah.
You know, I was told Jude this story earlier today. There was a time when I considered looking into it a little bit.
Looking into becoming a
because
Buddhist?
I had a friend who was a complete asshole growing up when we were kids, and then we lost touch, and then like 5-6 years later we met each other,
and he's like, namaste.
And he found Buddha. And he was a completely different person.
Whatever it takes, man.
And I liked the new dude.
Man.
I liked the new dude. You know, it was really cool. So, you know, whatever.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
You know. If I'm going to find some bullshit religion, it might as well be one where I'm like, people kind of like to hang out with me, you know. So, whatever.
Got some dope weed.
We get some fucking beads.
Some deer penis.
And a cool Chinese shirt and some deer penis.
The deer penis jokes in this movie were terrible. It was hilarious how bad they were.
So this was the last movie that Steven Seagal made in Hollywood before he started doing like all the direct-to-video stuff. Because like this one did not succeed, but it was basically like a Lethal Weapon ripoff.
Yeah, it's
but instead of Riggs being like a loose cannon, he's a Buddhist.
It's Lethal Weapon / Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Mixed together. Let's do the synopsis. Jude, take it away.
1986, The Glimmer Man. Rated R with...
So stupid.
Sorry.
Rated R with a runtime of 1 hour, 31 minutes. This had a budget of $45 million. What do you think this brought into the box office?
$12, Bob. I think it made no money. No money.
Man, you know, I remember no hype about this movie.
0.
I'm probably complete opposite and wrong, but I'm going to say it did not make its money back. I'm going to say 30 million maybe.
All right. Had a budget of $45 million with a box office bring home of $20 million.
Yeah. I overshot it. Your $12 won the showcase this week.
Nice.
That's good. That's good.
You ready for me to tell you what it's about?
So ready. Go for it.
Detective Namaste just really loves solving cases. He's been solving cases for the NYPD, the CIA, and a bunch of other organizations you probably never heard of. He's the best at tracking down bad guys, but when it comes to fighting, good thing it's against his religion, because his slap fight style is deadly. With his new partner, Keenen Ivory Wayans, they're on the case of a serial killer who seems to be sending Detective Namaste a message. But the Family Man is no match for the Glimmer Man. Discuss.
Oh, Jesus.
So you guys whenever Steven Seagal is like slap fighting in this movie, it just reminded me of the film we made with Lynn
Yes,
Kabazinski.
100%.
We're like, you guys were basically as good as Steven Seagal.
Yeah,
in
we
this
Just
film.
slap fighting.
Come here, Stu.
Just come here. Freaking ridiculous. He actually legitimately just slaps some dude in this movie though. Like just what?
But like a Buddhist, so it's tougher.
Just he's like.
Yeah, go ahead. Come on, we'll give you a table.
Oh, can we talk about his Blade credit card? Shit was fucking hilarious.
my God.
Oh my
But
god.
before we get to that, so like the setup for that,
Go ahead.
basically, him and Keenen Ivory Wayans, his partner.
Is he related to the Wayans
partner.
brother?
Yes, he's the oldest Wayans.
Is he
Wayans
really?
brother,
Oh
yeah.
my god, I thought it was a joke.
Oh,
No,
Oh wow. Okay.
no. They're driving by this garage, and Steven Seagal sees like a group of 3 men trying to break into a car, and he's like, "Hey, we're police officers. We should stop and keep these guys from stealing this car." And Keenen Ivory Wayans is like, "We're homicide detectives. We don't do that shit."
yeah.
But Steven Seagal's like, "Come on, like let's be good cops and stop this."
Come on, man. Let's be anti-crime.
Yeah. So they go, and there are these 3 Asian guys trying to break into this car. And at first, Keenen Ivory Wayans and Steven Seagal are like all tough because they got guns. But then it turns out that the Russian mob, who has been involved in this case that they're working, laid this trap for them because somehow they knew that they were going to stop here. And so like these Russian gangsters kind of come out. And they got the drop on, Steven Seagal and Keenen Ivory Wayans, and they're like, "We're going to kill you now." And Steven Seagal's like,
right, man, listen.
fighting's against my religion.
Yeah, I got some money here. You want money? I'll give you money. Let me reach back here and just grab my pocket.
You take
And,
credit card?
Take my wallet out. Now listen, I got cash or I got plastic. If you want,
So he pulls out a credit card that has a secret razor blade in it. He flips out the razor blade.
slices 3 people's
Yeah,
throats.
instantly slices, even though it's
In a
against his
millisecond.
religion. Yeah. And then he starts slap fighting all the others. And Keenen Ivory Wayans is just on the ground the entire time.
I'm like, oh my god,
It was terrible.
that was so goofy. It
But
was hilarious.
for some reason, I kind of liked it.
I had a blast.
Right?
I had
It's
so
like-
much fun.
It was so fun.
It was like
This is one of those movies that I'm watching. I'm like, and my brain's telling me,
no,
that I'm
but my
supposed-
body.
yes, I'm
telling me
I'm
yes.
supposed to hate this movie. I'm supposed to hate this movie. But yeah, for some reason, I didn't quit. I didn't pause it once. I didn't even want to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, no.
I kept calling it and being like,
I bet he says she has nice
Oh,
tits.
wait, guys, like legit. We're sitting there watching this. Jude has never seen this movie before.
first
Okay.
watch.
And the entire time, she's just calling out every 90s action movie trope you can
hit
think
all
of.
Oh
the
yeah,
spots.
all of it.
Like she'll literally say it, and then in the movie they would say what she just said.
Yeah.
Like for
Yeah, yeah.
instance, there's
With
a
the
scene.
body.
There's a scene in the morgue where they're looking at a Russian prostitute, and
tits.
this is a Russian prostitute that was dead. And Jude's like, "Oh, I bet they're gonna say she has nice tits."
Yeah.
And then like Keenen Ivory Wayans, and the next like right after she says it, is like, "She's got nice tits."
And then I go, I bet she has fake boobs, and they take him out to identify her. And he's like, I bet she has fake boobs. We should take him out to identify her. I was like,
And Steven Seagal like cuts the boob open, takes out the breast implant, and is like track this serial number.
I mean, that's how I would do police.
But the scene where they go into the Asian kind of herbalist place, and he's like allergic to incense. Keenen Ivory Wayans'
Oh my
character.
God, yeah.
And Steven Seagal's like, "Hey, put some of this under your tongue, and it'll clear you right up." And Jude's like, "I bet it's some type of powdered penis."
100%.
This powdered deer penis, bro. It'll do you right. And he's like, oh my God, that. And then he gets addicted to it.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, hey man,
So
you
he
gotta
buys
get
a
that powdered
case of
penis.
it.
And then Steven Seagal's like, is that deer penis?
I mean, if you have an issue going on right now,
Oh, if powdered deer penis fixed it,
could
I
you
would
put
take
some
it.
powdered deer penis under your tongue?
1000%.
Let's try it.
Absolutely. If it worked,
Yeah.
a Chinese
I
medicine is
have
no
a,
joke.
I have a question for everybody, and I know it's not really for him, but for the 3 of us, was this a first watch?
Yeah.
Because it was for me.
Yeah.
What about you?
First watch.
yeah.
All right, so we can actually put first
Had you
watch.
seen it before?
I think I saw it in the theaters, but like I can't remember.
course you did.
So we
Because
can put
like,
first watch on the thumbnail and not feel guilty.
It was like
Yeah.
1996, wasn't it? Was it 96?
96.
Yeah, this is what I loved about this movie was that it fit into every stereotype of a Steven Seagal movie like perfectly. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's going to be a lazy slap fighter. Yup. oh, he's gonna have cheesy '90s one-liners
This
that
was
don't
an
make any
80s
sense.
movie set in '96.
Was this the last of the 80s cop movies?
Well, this is what he said. It's like a
It
'90s
was the last-
ripoff of Lethal Weapon.
Has there been one like this since? Because
The other guys?
It has all the tropes. It has all of the tropes of an 80s buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just
The Nice Guys was a buddy cop comedy.
that's what I meant.
Bad Boys, maybe.
But Other Guys fits too, because it's Will Ferrell and
Oh no, that's the one I meant.
But that's making fun.
That's making fun of these types of movies.
This is not a making fun of a movie. This is a movie that's taking itself way too seriously.
Super
seriously.
I don't think you can make this movie anymore without people being like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, right.
It's hilarious.
I'm just trying to think of what other legit buddy cop movie came out after 1994. Is that correct? Is that about right?
This was '96.
This was
96, even better. You know, it's weird.
So one of the funny things about this movie is so Brian Cox plays the head CIA guy in this film.
Yeah.
And originally Tommy Lee Jones, who starred in Under Siege with Steven Seagal, which,
Oh yeah.
by the way, guys, if you want to check out our Under Siege review, it's going to be in the pinned comment of this video. But Tommy Lee
Great
Jones was supposed to play the Brian Cox character. And the day they were set to start shooting, Tommy Lee Jones was like, fuck Steven Seagal, I'm out.
Which I think is how
Fair.
most people.
Fair.
Yeah. So
respond to
Brian
Steven
Cox
Seagal.
was like a last minute replacement. And they were also trying to get a variety of kind of upcoming actors to play his partner. But they couldn't get any of them to want to work with Steven Seagal. And so basically Keenen Ivory Wayans kind of stepped in at the last minute as well and got cast in that role.
The ending of this movie is him telling him, "Don't freaking call me.
Yeah.
Don't ever talk to me again. I don't want to see your ass."
That was real.
I think that was real.
was
I think he
legit.
was just like, "Hey, Steven Seagal, I'm done.
Yeah.
This is the last scene
I
of the
can
movie."
check this off my bucket list
Yup.
of
I took a
things
paycheck.
I've done.
Don't call me, Jack. Don't leave me a message. Don't fax me. If I see a bird on my window with a message on his foot, I'm throwing him back out.
How much did he get paid for this movie? $12 million or something crazy?
Probably,
Keenen
probably
Ivory
not.
Wayans?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Keenen Ivory Wayans wasn't a huge star ever. But the weird thing about this movie is so Steven Seagal's off-screen behavior is kind of legendary. And Keenen Ivory Wayans in an interview talked about how Steven Seagal was constantly late to the set. He would just show up whenever he felt like it. And there was one time they were waiting around for him for 8 hours. And he finally shows up on set, and Keenen Ivory Wayans was like, "Bro, where were you all day?" And Steven Seagal's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I lost track of time. I was reading the best screenplay I've ever read in my entire life." And Keenen Ivory Wayans is like, "It's the best screenplay you've ever read?" He's like, "Yeah, man, this thing is next level." And he's like, "Who wrote it?" He's like, "Well, I wrote it." So Steven Seagal was busy reading his own script, and he couldn't be bothered to show up to set on time.
Oh God, that's so
I
frustrating.
think Steven Seagal was just playing Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
I don't think the dude
He's
even
not
acts.
acting. No, he wasn't
You've
acting
heard
in
the
this
story
movie.
about him betting, I think it was Stallone, "You can't choke me out." You've heard this, right?
Probably.
They were
but remind me.
Were they at Van Damme's house and he bet Stallone, or were they at Stallone's
They were at
house
Stallone's house.
and then he bet Van Damme? Or he bet
Well,
someone.
Well, no. So there's two different stories here.
Yeah.
So I think the thing that you're thinking of didn't happen at the Stallone place.
Okay.
I think it was a separate thing.
But he bet someone, "I bet you can't choke me out." And whoever it was, I want to say it was Stallone, but it might not be. It popped in the comments. But the person did choke him out. He lost consciousness, and then he immediately shat his pants.
Oh, nice.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think that was a stunt guy who talked about that, or it might have been the guy that fought Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse, the guy who's
that dude.
Yeah, I fuck guys like you in prison.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember that guy.
I think that might have been the guy. But at Stallone's party, that's where his feud with Jean-Claude Van Damme started, where they were constantly threatening to fight each other and stuff. But
I watched that movie.
Yeah. So
Not today.
Steven Seagal is well known for his bad behavior and just nobody liking him, essentially. But the thing about this movie that got me was just how convoluted the plot was.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah.
It was They were trying too much.
It took me 45 minutes to like figure out what the plot actually was.
There was like,
and it's still kind of vague.
There was like 4 different layers of intrigue going on. There was the Russian mob that was controlled by the 2 like political leaders.
Yeah,
and the 2 political leaders were going up against each other, and one wanted to kill the other. It was just too much.
And there was the serial killer who was sending a message to the Glimmer Man.
Yeah, but he wasn't the actual bad guy. It was really this other bad guy that killed his wife. It's just it was nonsense. I didn't even.
The real Glimmer Man was the guy in the church, right?
No,
the
real family man.
Oh,
the family man.
Yeah.
So let me lay this out for people who haven't seen the movie.
Please do. Yes.
So basically, it starts off as a pretty typical buddy cop movie where like this Buddhist Steven Seagal character gets teamed up with the by the book Keenen Ivory Wayans character. And they're on the trail of a serial killer named the Family Man, who got that nickname because he goes after families. He basically kills them, then crucifies them. And so they're trying to investigate this thing, and they start finding connections to the Russian mob. And then the Russian mob starts coming after these cops who are investigating the serial killer. But then they find the serial killer, and it turns out that the serial killer didn't do the last 3 murders that were attributed to him. And so like they're like, there's a copycat serial killer. And then they find out that that copycat serial killer is really involved with the CIA and the Russian mafia.
As you do.
Yeah. And then it becomes like this weird like political thing where basically they're smuggling in some type of weapons using the CIA and the Russian mafia together in order to like do some type of black ops money exchange type thing. And at the end of the movie, basically they defeat the CIA, they defeat the Russian mafia, and they kill the copycat serial killer. And so like all this kind of like accumulates in like a big shootout, and Keenen Ivory Wayans
a slap fight.
Yeah. and Keenen Ivory Wayans basically, there's a big scene in here where like he's in his apartment and the entire apartment catches fire and he jumps out. John Wicks it. He jumps out like a 3-story window.
And lands on a car.
And he's like totally
fine.
okay. Yeah,
he's totally fine.
Cool.
I thought they were going to kill him. Honestly, I thought they were going to kill him.
It's just part of his morning workout.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, they're actually going to do something in this movie.
I jump out of burning buildings like 47 times a year.
Oh man, I train people how to jump out of burning buildings.
The car that he fell through broke his fall. So he's cool.
He's fine.
The thing that gets me is like this movie starts off like the first time you see Steven Seagal in action, there's a hostage situation at a private school where some kid is suicidal and he's holding his class hostage with a gun. And Steven Seagal comes in and he's like, hey man, I'm going to try to save your life. Just do what I say, like play it cool, man. And then he comes in and he points a gun at the kid and he's like, I'm going to kill you if you don't drop that gun. and it's like they made it very clear that the kid's suicidal, like he's about to like blow his own brains out and Steven Seagal's threatening to kill him.
Yeah. But how he saves the day.
Oh, it's great. It's fantastic.
He tackles him through a window, out over a balcony.
It wasn't a balcony, it was an alleyway.
Alleyway. Out of a window, over an alleyway, into another window, in an adjacent building, and they make it through, and then he's like, you're a good kid. I got you.
Yeah, we're good,
and the kid's like, oh my God.
Thank you.
I want to live.
I was like, oh, dude, it's every Seagal trope that everybody makes fun of in this movie. And
they're all there.
Listen, man, I'm not going to lie. I had fun with this movie because it was so stupid. I was like, I just had a dumb grin on my face the whole time. Like, this is so dumb. I love it.
I think my favorite scene was the restaurant scene.
Yeah.
Where he's fighting all the mobsters.
I love the fact that he picks up the phone.
It's peak slap fighting.
It's amazing. It's just like, and then he just like throws somebody, and he's like, and that's the whole fight scene is all that. And then it cuts to the guy sitting at the table just drinking, and he's like, it was a good fight. Yeah, it was pretty good. And then
hello? We're going to be closed for
looks around.
2 months.
No, that won't work. We're closed for renovation, I'd say 2 months.
Oh God, I loved it. I love it when he walks in and the concierge, he's got a fake French accent because it's a fancy restaurant.
It was an Italian accent. He was doing full Mario.
There is no way I can get you a table today. No, we're full up. You have to.
No, it's too sexy in here.
Too sexy in here. No. And then he's like, hold on, bro. I got something going on right now. No, I cannot get you a table, not at all. And then Seagal just picks up. And he's like, you're totally fine. We can fit you in for a table of 4 right now. And then he hangs up.
Pray to Buddha.
And then he destroys the whole restaurant, and the phone rings as he's walking out, and he just picks up, he's like, yeah, we're not gonna be able to fit you in for another
let me ask you
4 months. And he hangs up and I'm like, this is glorious.
Let me ask you this question.
Funny.
You're a tough guy and you're gonna go like confront some asshole.
Yeah, of course.
In the Italian restaurant, right? So are you gonna go? When you're talking to him, are you gonna sit down and eat a cannoli? You gonna taste the cannoli while
Listen,
you're
man,
doing
you gotta.
It's like, I think I would. I think
Leave
that was,
the gun,
that
take
was,
the cannoli.
That was my favorite thing in the whole world. It's like he takes the cannoli, it's pretty cannoli, puts it down, and then he takes the fucking napkin out of the rolled fucking basket.
Oh yes,
that's the basket with the rolls.
No respect for this
Dude,
food.
I guarantee you that was ad libbed. I guarantee you that was ad libbed.
The best thing in the whole movie.
I was great. He said,
I love
he's like,
that scene.
the table is set, right? The props department is like, all right, we got some cannolis. It's an Italian
The
restaurant.
props
Whatever.
department is like, perfect.
Yeah, and he's
Cannoli,
like, he's sitting there.
fucking napkin, roll,
Dude,
fucking big
the
stuff.
way he takes the napkin out and he starts pulling it, and then he realizes he can't get at without, and he just goes, and he just throws the bread all over the place.
Yeah. No, the bread stayed in the bowl.
No, I don't think it did.
No, it did. It
Did
totally
it?
did. Yeah, it was like the
Maybe.
whole.
Oh, God,
take
he's a magician?
Yeah, it was great.
Ugh.
I just that was
hilarious.
peak Seagal. That was some style right
I'm
there.
so glad
I'm
you
like,
reminded me.
oh my god, that was
I
awesome.
love that scene.
And then he fucks up everybody.
Fucks
with
everybody
this
up.
bullshit
Slap fight.
It's like
Slaps the shit out of the
one of the
concierge.
guys in the watch party was like talking trash about that. Who's
Yeah.
a martial artist. It's like that is like the weakest type of martial arts.
Yeah.
It's like the only thing that's worse than that is like
The splits.
I forget what he said. I'm fucking man, this stupid stuff. But it's
It's
just
alcohol every
It's not
time.
the
Maybe
alcohol.
it's you.
but it was like the second worst kind of martial arts.
Yeah.
And everybody makes fun of it because it's slap fighting.
It's slap fighting.
It's so silly.
Absolutely.
But
But it was funny. But
Yeah.
I'm so glad you reminded me of that scene because I remember watching that going, this is amazing.
Yeah, it was really
He
funny.
just like grabs the napkin out of the
And-
bread bowl and like wipes his face
and I
with
really
it.
like how the bad dude, what's his name? The bad guy in the movie.
Oh,
The
I remember.
Family Man.
You know what I?
Which
the
bad guy? There are
No,
like
the guy,
12 of them.
the mobster guy.
Oh,
Who
he's
gets-
very
gets
famous,
shot.
right?
Yeah. But he's just sitting there. It's like, the way he was played off of him while Seagal was sitting there eating his fucking.
Oh no,
cannoli.
that's Brian Cox.
Brian Cox.
He's the head of the CIA.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I thought he was a mobster.
No,
See, that's
no.
how well they made this movie. It's like I don't know which bad guy does what.
Mobster was the other dude.
So the mobster was the stepfather of the kid who tried to kill himself.
That's
That's
Oh,
right.
the Shawshank Redemption
the guy
guy.
from Demolition Man.
Shawshank Redemption and Demolition Man. Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
wait a second. Isn't he from Demolition Man? Oh, he's the police chief.
Ooh, I
That's right.
saw that guy's doppelganger at Taco El Gordo the other day.
Did you go up to him and ask him for an autograph?
No, but I looked at him. I told Tom, and I was like, "Hey, bro, look, it's Shawshank Redemption
Wait, you
guy."
and Tom are going to Tacos El Gordo?
Hell yeah,
Jesus.
got to lunch all the time.
Tom loves tacos El Gordo.
I know he went to Mexico and he didn't have a single taco. And I was like, "Well, why don't we go tacos today?" He's like, "That sounds like a good idea."
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah. My job is so cool.
I'm jealous
it's
that
just-
you get to spend all the time with my best friend.
It's just me convincing my boss to go get tacos with me.
Yeah.
Tacos.
Next time you can go to an Italian restaurant and just slap the shit out of it.
Have you gotten the vampiros? With
No.
the cheese and shit? Those are really good.
I go down to this little taco joint over here by the podcast studio. Freaking legit.
Yeah,
they
it's
got
legit.
dope. They got dope churros too.
So you know how there's that whole scene in the Italian restaurant, and it's very inconsistent because Steven Seagal's character the entire time he's like, I'm Buddhist, violence is against my religion, I
Yeah.
don't kill anyone. Then he goes around just fighting and killing everyone. But Keenen Ivory Wayans' character, he's a fan of classic movies. And so he goes to a classic movie
the
theater.
black and white movie theater.
And Steven Seagal finds him there. He's like, man, what are you doing here? I just want to watch a movie.
Crying. He's like, man, I don't cry during movies.
Watching Casablanca.
And then he goes back to his amazing LA apartment, which is way better than any cop could probably afford down there, with his huge basket of deer penis powder and stuff like that. And then as the guy tries to kill him, because the CIA assassin guy who's pretending to be the serial killer shows up, try to kill him.
Trashes his apartment.
Yeah, basically everything catches on fire. And they have this big fight, and then he John Wicks it out the window to save his life at the last minute before it explodes, because that one gas main, from the stove that got ripped out
man.
For 30 seconds, filled the entire room with gas.
as it was already on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. It's almost as good as having Coke machines save you from an explosion.
Almost.
Almost as good. Almost.
Oh, what was the name of that movie?
Endangering a tiger.
I don't know. It was Jean-Claude Van
Double
Damme.
Team.
Double Team with Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah. God, that was
You know what's
glorious.
funny is during this time period, Steven Seagal was teaming up with a lot of black actors like DMX for Exit Wounds and stuff like
I
that.
remember that. Yeah. X gonna give it to you. That was good. We need to watch that movie.
Was that the only movie that
No,
DMX ever acted in?
Cradle to the Grave.
Cradle
I think
to
he
the
was
Grave.
in with
Why do
Jet
you
Li.
know all this?
Apparently, I'm a DMX fan.
Elon Musk.
Who
used to,
knew?
Elon needs to like appropriate that song for.
X gonna give it to you. Well, that was the theme, dude. When he first renamed the Twitter app, that's people were dropping that thing. It was funny.
Yeah, that meme of X or of DMX like in the music video where it's like X gonna give it to you.
Yeah. I like that song, dude.
Yeah, right
I can
on.
listen to it right now.
It's a good song. R.I.P. DMX.
Yeah, R.I.P. Okay, what else can we talk about this movie? I'm just gonna review it right now. I'll give you my general thoughts and my star. I had such a good time because it was so dumb, but it fit everything I expected out of a Seagal movie. Like it was to a T. This is what you're gonna get. You walk into a Seagal movie, these are the tropes.
Yep.
And it filled that gap, and I was like, yeah, this is great. I had a fun time. It's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
It's awful. It's dumb. It's badly written, badly acted, badly badly fight, poorly fight choreographed.
Poorly fought.
Sure. It's bad all around. There's nothing good about it except for the fact that it fits the bill for what you expect with a Steven Seagal movie. And I enjoyed myself to no end. I watched it and I was like, that was great. I'm going to give it 2.5 Steven Seagal slap fights.
Okay.
Right down the middle.
It was badly fighted.
Badly fought, badly fight choreographed. I just had a good time. It's a bad movie. On a movie scale, it's like a 1.
Yeah.
Right? It's a 1-star crap fest.
Yeah, for sure.
But because it's so stupid, 2.5 stars.
Man, you totally stole my whole thing.
You can steal it. Take it away.
Take it away. With you right
Dude, 2.75 stars. Who cares?
No,
the rules are made up and the points don't matter. Give it 5 stars.
Deal with me here.
Do it. Give it 5.
So like everything you just said. Right?
Don't influence his vote.
It is a 1-star crap fest movie. It's fucking terrible.
It's terrible.
This movie is awful. You can't follow the plot. You have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, they have these random dude in a church that they blow away and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And none of it makes any sense. And definitely a 1-star crap fest. But I was like thoroughly entertained as well. I was gonna go right down the middle, 2.5. You know, and then I was gonna give it an extra 0.5 star for boobs, but they're dead boobs. They're corpse boobs, right? I'm like,
how many stars do you get for dead boobs?
I don't know.
That's like 4 more stars. That's his favorite kind of boob.
Oh, dead boobs and powdered penis.
But yeah, you corpse boobs. It's like, I don't know. It's like, it's kind of gross. It's like, but they were magnificent. They were really nice boobs. And also the actress that played the corpse is still alive. So I'm going to give it a quarter. I'm going to go 2 and 2.75 stars for live boobs pretending they're fake.
Pretending they're dead.
Pretending they're dead, but they're actually real. So 2.75 stars. There you go. Does that make sense?
No.
No? Zombie boobs?
Zombie boobs are a different
They're
thing.
dead boobs, not undead boobs. That's different.
Well, okay.
Wow.
I don't know where to go.
I love it.
Because, you know, I'm like,
2.275.
Because I did I perked up a little bit. Those are some boobs. Those are nice big boobs.
But they're
dead. It's like, wait, no, they're not. It says, I think
the actress was still alive.
Somebody in the chat pointed out, no, the actress that's playing those are still alive. They're not really dead boobs. It's like, oh, well.
Oh, well,
That's
in that
true.
case.
So wait.
I can still get harmed up by the corpse. Because the corpse isn't really a corpse. That's kind of gross.
Do you
That's
think actual dead people are in movies?
No.
Do you remember that dude from Cabinet of Curiosities with David Hewlett who was just fucking hung?
Oh, yeah.
Sitting in the morgue.
Fucking
8 inches soft.
Yeah. Like 8 inches flaccid. Like, motherfucker. But no wonder he got that
And we
role.
asked Hewlett, we're like, bro, was he really that hung? And he was like, yeah, he was. Do you remember that? How the fuck did we get away with that shit?
I don't know. But yeah, 2.75.
Oh, shout out to David Hewlett.
Yeah.
That dude was a trooper.
You gonna show off your shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hewlett gets me.
Yeah, we need to have him back on the show.
We do.
We haven't talked to him in a
It's been a minute. I need to ask him a couple
We
questions.
need to have him in the studio.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Jude.
Yeah.
Final thoughts. Give it a rating.
I
How
would
can you
like
follow
to
that,
say that, Alex, everything you said was correct.
Yeah.
Everything Vader said made me feel weird.
Think, are they dead? No. They're not really dead.
Technically not dead.
Oh, they're dead.
Will they perk up if you tweak them?
Stop.
It was really cold in that morning.
I know.
What
It's
is
really
with
cool.
Steven Seagal movies having weird boobs? Remember in the last Steven Seagal movie we
Like
did?
no areola.
There was no areola.
yeah.
They were the same color.
Yeah. It was just
Yeah.
like looking at someone's cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
the,
were-
the girl in Under Siege.
Under Siege.
She had like clear nipples.
Yeah, and then we had the
were
Gary
transparent.
Busey fake boobs in that one.
Yeah. Wow. Is
Yeah.
that a thing for Steven Seagal to have weird boobs?
And ponytails.
Well, that's Steven Seagal.
Whiskey
I
Jackson
had-
Vader, no.
I had a great time.
You did. Okay.
I had a great time watching this.
All right.
First time watch, and I wasn't excited to watch this. I wanted to watch like a really bad 80s one.
Okay.
I didn't know that this could exist.
Okay.
Like a really bad 90s version. I thought it was just going to be like just bad and not entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's so much fun. And it's exactly what I wanted to get out of a Steven Seagal movie. So I'm giving it 3 deer penises.
Nice. Okay.
3 deer panai.
Pinai.
Pino. Here comes Keenen with his 5 stars.
This movie is responsible for creating the
Yeah,
Lord of the
yeah,
Rings.
yeah.
Watch, Peter Jackson watched this movie and then went and made Lord of the Rings. And we're all like, oh shit.
Of course he did.
5 stars.
Yeah, you know that deer penis thing? That's where they got second breakfast from. It's like, okay, whatever. Shut the fuck up.
They actually got that from the Italian restaurant.
All right, Katie, take it away.
Steven Seagal invented cannolis in this movie.
Oh, man.
All right, so what was interesting about this movie, like we talked about how convoluted the storyline is.
Sure.
So originally this movie was much longer, and they had like a lot of like subplots. They had a lot more of like Keenen Ivory Wayans and Steven Seagal having humorous exchanges. They had a lot more with Steven Seagal's like wife in the movie. So like it was a much more fleshed out movie originally. And when they screened the rough cut for the studio was like, we thought we were buying a Steven Seagal movie. What the fuck is this? And so they went back into the editing room, and the studio made them cut out like a bunch of stuff. And this was the result.
Did they use the credit card with the razor blade to cut all that shit out?
Maybe, but basically they were like, we want it to move faster. We want it to be more action heavy and all this other stuff. Like originally, Keenen Ivory Wayans was supposed to be living on a houseboat. And so like that big fight with like the explosion and stuff like that was supposed to be on the water, but they were like, it's too expensive. Let's put it in like an LA apartment or like whatever.
Put it in a ravine.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys are absolutely right about this movie. Like it's a terrible movie, but because it's a terrible Steven Seagal movie, there's like a kitsch factor to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after hearing about the dead boobs, like I have a whole new appreciation for this film.
They were magnificent. All right, they were just bam.
They're the dead Russian hooker boobs, which you absolutely like.
Oh, yeah, the Russian hooker.
Yeah.
That's another thing for you.
He does love,
Russian hookers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially dead ones. His favorite.
You don't know.
But there are a lot of like really good kind of like set pieces in this movie. Like the biggest one of being like the assault on the Italian restaurant and you know,
That's a movie we need to make. Assault on the Italian restaurant.
That's one of my top 5 fight scenes I think of all time. That was so good.
Just slaps the shit out of everybody.
It's so fucking stupid.
The concierge with the fake Italian accent.
Oh yeah, it's great.
yeah,
He
and-
talks like Mark Wahlberg unless he's on the phone with somebody.
Say hello to your mother for me.
Yeah, and then you had like the Keenen Ivory Wayans fight in the apartment as all the fires going on, and there's just a lot of stuff like going over that alleyway like through both windows.
$24 million budget had to go somewhere, man.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot to like about this movie, but you like it within the context of like a ridiculous Steven Seagal 90s film.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you know, Seagal's up there with Van Damme in terms of like, it's a pleasure to watch how bad his movies are because we like him as a character.
Yeah.
Even though he's a terrible person. So I got to give this one, I'd say like, 2 powdered deer penises out of 5.
Is the entire table in complete agreement
We're
today?
pretty close.
Pretty close.
We're all within a point of each other.
Stunning.
You know
That
what this
never happens.
You know what this movie needed?
What's up?
Just a random cameo from the Lesser Baldwin
Oh,
in the cop room.
Yeah, he should have been like the chief or something.
Yeah,
you know?
or just a random detective.
Yeah.
Lesser Baldwin.
Somebody who
And
gives
Cindy
Seagal
Crawford.
shit.
I feel like this is like in the same universe as him and Cindy Crawford's movie
What was that movie
for
called?
some reason.
The one with the ass on
one
the
with
train?
the best sex scene.
If
of
the
all.
trains are rocking.
Yeah.
It was called Fair Game.
Fair
And
Game,
it was
that's
it was
it.
based off of the novel that inspired Cobra.
Because they're
Okay.
both in L.A., both L.A. police. It was really wet in
Low
L.A. in
budget.
this movie. What was up with the weather in this thing?
Wait, was it raining?
It was raining all the time, and they're supposed to be in Los Angeles.
I mean, it's been raining here every day, and this is the desert.
It's monsoon
crazy.
season, man. August, September. It rains all the time.
Yeah. I mean, if we just had Lesser Baldwin's butt
Somewhere.
in
Yeah.
this movie.
He could have been. Oh, he could have been the one that was boinking his ex-wife.
Maybe. Oh,
That would have been good. And then he got shot in the head and hung on the wall.
And I would like to just mention one more thing.
Yeah.
The fashion in this show was amazing.
Oh my God, the shirts.
The shirts.
Yeah, you lost your mind.
And the suspenders on the dude
Yeah.
at the end. I used to have a pair of suspenders like that, and they were the dumbest fucking thing.
think you need
in the
another
world.
pair.
No, I hate this. I used to wear suspenders because I'm fat, and they actually held my pants up back in the day. But now I can't do it. I just like that. This movie gave suspenders a bad reputation.
Is this the one that did it? This puts the suspenders
no
to
more
bed.
suspenders.
The only people who can get away with suspenders is people in Guy Ritchie movies. If they're a British gangster,
British
with a wool
gangsters,
suit
they
and
know how to pull 'em
suspenders,
off.
you can pull it off.
Peaky
do the-
fucking
the-
blinders.
Yeah, like a Peaky Blinders thing.
The belly shirt or the belly pants
No,
with the suspenders.
you can't do
Yeah,
that.
dude.
You got to be skinny. Gotta be.
But yeah.
Anyway,
Want to stop fight?
yeah, let's go. Ready? We'll end it on that. All right, that's it, folks. Thanks for watching the show. Enjoy the last episode coming next week of Sloan-Gall September.
Something.
What is it called?
Slap on the
Schwartz-Gall September.
Schwartz Lone Gall.
Whatever.
Schwartz.
You know.
Schwartz.
You know. What's the next movie on our list this month?
It is the Expendables.
Expendables.
The first one.
We're going to have some fun with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's a good movie. Don't forget to go to discord.com. We're doing a watch party on Monday.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, probably.
90%. 90%. Depends on the
So
one.
this comes out on Friday, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So we got 3 days, guys. After you see this video, 3 days, we're going to do a watch party for Expendables 1.
You'll know there's a watch party when you see a glimmer out of the corner of your eye.
Yeah.
And then you pray to Buddha.
He'll be the nicest guy in the world, and then you'll just see a glimmer in his eye, and he'll
then
kill
you have
you.
some
I need somebody to
powdered
send me
deer
some.
penis.
I want somebody to send me some Buddhist prayer beads.
I'm going to go next door to the freaking witch doctor and get some medicine for myself.
Yeah, you should.
All right. That's it, folks. Thank you so much. Comment below your favorite moment of this movie. If it's dead tits, you're in the right place.
The best part of this movie is the fight scene in the Italian restaurant. 100%.
Yeah.
And the dead boob.
They were pretty nice.
Oh,
Dude,
they're
that freaking
dead.
that concierge at that restaurant was hilarious,
pretty
though.
funny.
It was so funny. No, I cannot get you a table. Oh, sorry, that's not. That's
Yeah,
French.
yeah. When he came walking in, I was like, "That's the worst Italian accent I've ever heard." And then it turns out like it was
It was
supposed to be
fake,
a bad
yeah, it
Italian
was fake.
accent.
Perfect. The bread basket with the napkin
Yeah, it was
thing.
beautiful.
Fucking died
Too
laughing.
loud.
It was so
Perfect.
funny. All right, folks. Stay salty.
Hey, asshole, what are you, blind? We're closed, okay?
You kind of talk too much. Yeah, go ahead. Come on, we'll give you a table.